What should you adjust or alter in your thinking, feeling, or being that would allow you to become the best version of you, right? So you have to start thinking about the changes that you're going to have to make. When you are discovering who God has created you to be, you have to learn how to be comfortable, right, in this new version. Okay. You haven't lived this life yet as you. So you have to learn how to become familiar with yourself, right, with who you were created to be. Um, if you don't learn how to be comfortable with yourself, you will not embrace your individuality, right? You have to start loving who you are at your core unapologetically, without the customs, without the traditions, without the constant covering up and hiding, right? You have to learn to get used to you. Okay, so you have to know that there's going to be some changes and it's going to be uncomfortable, right? Because you have not lived this life as this version of yourself, right? Once you take, if you're the type of person that have worn a lot of masks, that has basically became a chameleon to change, to make yourself more comfortable or more relatable, right? Make it more easier for people to digest you, right? If you're that type of person, once you get rid of all of those other personalities, all of those masks, all of those ways that you've covered up who you are, it can be uncomfortable to just be you, right? You have to get used to living life as who God created you to be. And some of us have been in fear of the change that is required for the evolution of our minds and spirits, right? You are or should be, as a human being, evolving every day, mind, body, and spirit, right? There should be a continual change in all of us as we obtain more knowledge, more insight, as we spend more time on this earth. We should be evolving multi different ways, right? When people tell you you change, that shouldn't be an insult. Like you should tell them, I'm glad. I hope I'm changing, right? I hope I'm not the same person that I was even 30 minutes ago. If I'm living right, if I'm doing this life right, I am not going to be the same day by day, right? Hopefully day by day you've grown. Hopefully your mind has been maturing and your body processes begin to work better, right? Hopefully your spirit is constantly being renewed day by day from the many battles that you fight every single day, right? There's a continual process of evolving and changing, and we must get on board with that. So what is change? What is change? Change is when you alter or allow the alteration of something, right? Change is when you become new or better, to be specific, right? Because we can change for the worse. So we're talking about the change that makes you better. And positive change happens inwardly first, right? It begins in your thoughts, then your new thoughts allow you to adjust your feelings, right? And your new feelings begin to modify your perceptions of things. It began to change the way you act and who you are. And when you are willing to change, to grow, you can begin to trust what you feel, right? Because it lines up with what is true to your true self, right? You don't have to wonder, you don't have to check so much of, is this a valid feeling or not? Is this a true feeling or not? Right? Because as you change, you begin to trust what you feel. Okay. You're not thinking of or you're not thinking or feeling from a place of brokenness that causes your vision to be blurred and unreliable, right? Once you begin to think on those things that are true, once you begin to focus on those things and you begin to live a life of truth and honesty to who you are, your thoughts and your feelings become more reliable, right? You have clarity of mind. So that way your insight and your foresight is sharpened, right? You can see the whole picture of something. You can discern what appears to be good, but its motives are evil, right? There are things that look good, but the motive behind it is of evil intent, right? So once you become who you truly are and you live with that truth first, everything else around you, you'll begin to open your eyes and see, right? You will have sharper discernment, okay? Change can come with resistance, and most change comes with resistance, right? But change is not an opposition. Okay, it is not an enemy. Change is inevitable, right? It's a part of human evolution spiritually and physically. We should be continuing to change and transform, right? We try to have surgeries and pills, take pills to avoid the things that prove that we're growing, right? The things that prove that we've lived. We're trying to change it, right? This is not our eternal being. This is not our eternal suit, right? We're going to an eternal place. And when we go to the eternal place, we have to have an eternal being. So why are we trying to do all of these things that prove that we've grown instead of embracing those things,